Okay. Okay. So when you are starting your Instagram, there is the option to edit your bio. So when you are filling out your name and putting everything on there, keep in mind that this is how people are going to find you. This is going to be what's making it searchable. So when you are optimizing your name, try and spell it out to as much as you can as the actual name that you're using. If you get on there and someone else is using your name or your business name and you want to, still use that, you can always use dots or underscores. And then that way you can still use it. Be sure to include contact info, website links, and all the information that you want people to know when they're looking for your Instagram. And another way for people to kind of connect with you are going to be story highlights and pin posts. We're going to talk about those too. When you build your profile, have the information ready and use different emojis, make it visual, and also be sure to include your website. So these kind of things are connecting through. So now you can include more than one link in your bio. And I definitely encourage everyone to, whether it's going to be a one-time event or their website or any sort of thing, the link in your bio is the way you're going to be driving traffic to outside of Instagram. Um, I really like how Severe Blumen, they included that they're agriculture. You have all these options on Instagram when you're filling out your bio of, how exactly are you marketing yourself? So you can see product, service, or agriculture. Pick which one you are. So I have photographer on mine. And then, both of these include the location of where they are. So crochet designer make based out of East Tennessee or in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains. So if you want to include your location, do that too. The next and final step before you get started is to just make sure that you take the time for quality content. We could have a whole nother class about how to take really good pictures and really good videos and, what does that look like, that setup? We could have a whole nother class about that. And actually, we do have a blog on the Maker Cities website that covers that. But just make sure that it's not just something random that you're putting up, kind of go with intention with your posting. And then that way you'll really be seeing results, whether it is growing your following or, reaching new people or making sales. Okay, so the first part of this is going to be very Instagram heavy. So I'm not sure if everyone's on Instagram here, but Instagram is just the app that, it's definitely probably the most popular in the creator community. And it would definitely be my recommendation for, people to use Instagram to be able to showcase their work. And when you're getting started, you have that option. Or even now, you can change. So you can have a personal account, a business account, or a creator account. Well, I tell everyone to do a creator account because with the creator account, you can actually use all the great music. And if you're set up as a business account, you're not going to be able to access those really cool songs. And I found that out the hard way when I was trying to find Rocky Top. And I was like, why don't I have Rocky Top as an option on here? Well, it was because the business that I was running, they weren't set up as a creator account. They were set up as a business account. So you can't get all those cool features. Now, if you are a personal account now, you will be able to do all the music, but you're not going to be able to see the insights. And the insights, it's really going to be able to show you what posts are doing really well. And it is a free feature. So when you have those insights, you can take that and figure out your plan for the next week, the next month. But if you're just set as personal, you're not going to be able to see how many people are sharing your pictures and how many people are interacting with a bunch of your content. So, we're going to be talking about some trends, some features, a couple of them like Facebook events, Facebook groups, and Instagram stories, they've been around for a while, but are you using them the right way? So we're gonna just kind of go over just a quick refresher of all of the different ways to post content. If you're thinking, oh, it's just let me just upload a picture, it's a lot more than that now. There's a lot more ways to engage with everybody on Instagram and engage on Facebook too. Okay, so the first thing that is really cool, and I have to say I haven't used it, is subscriptions on Instagram. So subscriptions is basically Instagram's version of Patreon, where subscribers are paying a monthly amount for exclusive content. So this is a local maker, Daniel Clay, and he's a woodworker, and he offers his, he has a bunch of different services that he has himself where he makes things, and he also, you know, might teach classes and things, but now he offers that online. And so you can see here his monthly subscription is 99 cents. And here's what it says you get access to: a subscriber badge, exclusive content, a social channel. So that means a chat with Daniel, specifically with the group of people who are subscribers. So, like, almost like it would be like a private, it's just a private group chat. And then a subscriber broadcast channel. So that means it's almost like private Instagram stories or something like that, where he's putting up content that only his subscribers can see. So that is a great way if you are wanting to teach a skill or you're wanting to put something out there, and maybe you want to see if you can try and get subscribers. This is just an easy way to kind of get started. And you can see here, you can subscribe or you can even get a subscription. So, if you needed an idea for someone's gift, that's a different way to kind of provide that. Another new feature that has been pretty fun, and comment in the chat if you ever use this one, is Status Bubble. So Status Bubble is just a quick way to say something that's on your mind. It is a very few characters, and it goes up on your profile picture when you're in the message area. So this, I mean, like, it could be something as simple as, wow, it's a nice day outside, or it could just be a bunch of emojis of, beer. It could be anything. But it's just, to me, it is a fun, playful kind of way to get a status out there. And it can be very informal, but it also is very, it goes to everybody. Everyone sees this. If they're following you on Instagram, everyone who is following you will be able to have that opportunity to see that status bubble, unless they hide you. So then we also have pin posts. Pin posts are a great way to showcase your featured Instagram post in one place at the very top of your Instagram. So these 3 posts are going to be the 3 top posts on your Instagram profile. And it really is, it can be an introduction to who you are, what you offer. You can see Essie Bessie Jazz, she was featuring lip blushing. So that's maybe a service that she really wants to focus on right now, trying to get new clients in. And for the Maker City right now, we have pinned local May markets. And that is because we want everyone to go to these local May markets. We also want everyone to check out the Mother's Day gift guide. And then we have the class for tonight pin. So it can change constantly. You can move your pins around, and that way you can feature things seasonally. You can do it as a get to know you post. It just really is a cool way to have something featured and pinned to the top of your profile. Another cool feature that we really love using with the Maker City and all the accounts is the collaboration posts. Collaboration posts are the opportunity to share a Instagram post or Instagram reel to two accounts at one time. So what happens is, for the Knox Entrepreneur Center, we were doing what's the big idea pitch competition. I reached out to the Knox Chamber. I said, hey, can we do a collaboration post with you guys for on this night? We did plan it out. It is a very planned thing. Unless you know someone really well and you're like, oh, I'm just going to send it to them and see what they say. It is typically a planned thing because, everyone has their social media calendar. So take that into consideration. But when we did it, you can see here the insights. We really were able to reach more people with the collaboration post. So this year we reached 762 non-followers. And that doesn't really happen that often unless it's getting shared a lot. So having that collaboration post allowed us to reach more people in one post. You can see Summer, she recently did this with a Summer Small Studio with a project. And I loved seeing this because I drive by this every day off of Hall of Fame. And now I know exactly who did it. I know where it is. And it was cool to kind of see that in one place because it was a collaboration post. A feature that is very, very cool for makers is the shoppable post. So each of these features you're going to be able to find in when you go post a picture or when you go post a reel. That's going to be right where the location is, right where you would do your tagging, and then it has all of these options to change it into these separate posts. Shoppable posts, much like the pen post has the pen on the corner, the shoppable post has a little bag. So it is a different kind of post on your feed. It has that little sticker on there. And what it does, it has that option for click through, which is really, really cool. So what that allows is you're on that picture. And as you can see, this is Paris Woodhull. And, she's selling the map, the Knoxville map. And she has two options linked on this post. So now if I'm interested in getting a map for my sister for her art wall, I would be able to choose one or the other, and I could click through right on Instagram. So it makes those sales pretty seamless for the buyer. I have heard it is a little bit of hassle to set up the shop itself. So I can't really speak too much about setting up the shop, but for a buyer, it is just a couple clicks and then the purchase is either ready for you to pick up in the store or going to be shipped to your house. Another new feature on Instagram that's really fun to use is the event reminder. The event reminder allows people to share an event on Instagram. And so like the shoppable post, it has its own icon at the top of the picture. And then it also has its own, when you share it in stories, it pops up and says, remind me. So you can actually add a reminder to your calendar from this based off of just having it set as an event through Instagram. How's everybody doing?
Doing great.
Any questions or anything so far?
Dion said she doesn't understand the status bubble.
Oh, the status bubble. Okay, so the status bubble,
Mhm.
just show you real quick. The way to find it is you have to click through to your DMs. So it's not going to be right above where the stories are. It's going to be through the DMs. So you'll click on it. And so if you have people that you're following that are using it, it will just pop up automatically. So when you're in the DM sections, which is your messaging, right now, someone in the Maker City is following says whirlwind days lately. So it's just a quick little thing. And then someone else says tomato juice. So, it can be fun. It can be anything. But that's how you find it. Okay. But how to use it, it really is just like everything, your creativity. It's how do you use it as a maker to, you know, kind of en encourage someone to DM you about something, or how do you do it so that, um, you know, it is just a fun way to insert your personality, just like every other aspect. So another feature that is relatively new is the get messages feature. And that feature allows someone to add that option on their post, and it says get messages. So it allows them to send a message right from the post. So it clicks through. So instead of someone having to like close through the Instagram post and then go to my profile to send me a DM, I actually set this post up here. So it sent me a message directly through that. So if you have something that if you want feedback right away, you can say, send me a message through this post, and you will be able to receive that. I hope you guys don't see this thing on the side, the Canva Live. I'm just trying to get rid of that, but I don't know what happened.
I can see it.
Sorry about that. Okay, so going back to stories. Basically, stories are instant ways to share what you're doing throughout the day. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry about that, you guys. So it's just instant ways to share what you're doing, video, boomerangs, photos. You can add text. They're really fun and engaging. And ways to make them even more engaging are by adding um, different polls. You can add quizzes. You can also do countdowns in stories, and you can add music. So they can be very interactive, and if you're putting a bunch of work into creating these stories, be sure you're adding them to your highlights, because that is going to be at the very top of your Instagram profile and will stay up there. So I love this. This is from a Nash Knoxville vendor at the farmers market, and they have their branding, and it says recipes, honey, market, busy bees. So they sell honey, and they have this cute yellow background, so you can customize that. Okay, so then we also have some examples of reels. So this is a reel that I took a screen recording and I sped it up a little bit, from Kelsey, who I believe is in here today. And she does a great job of showing her process of making this, doing her darkroom photography. So keep that in mind when you are out at markets or doing different projects. Take Use short clips to make a bigger reel, and it can be really really fast. I think this one was like 20 seconds or something like that. So keep that in mind. Instagram Reels are going to be very fast. It doesn't really have to take, don't have to do a minute and 30 seconds. So yeah, so this reel of just the clips coming together to show that process, it really does a good job of giving up behind the scenes. And having that where it's set up on a tripod or set up on a higher location to have that sturdiness is also really good. And this is just a really good example of a reel that does a good job of telling a story. The next one is one from Big Ears Festival that I put together, and it has some music and photos.
Can't hear the music, Holly.
Oh, that's okay. Well, it was mostly to show the video and the photos. And just keep that in mind as another way to use all the content that you have. You know, I use CapCut, and we're going to talk about that. But putting those photos and those videos together in one, it lets you be a little bit more creative and to show more by using the photos and the videos. The next one is a trending sound I hope you can hear um, from a fellow Maker City member.
Oh,
So this is just an awesome example of finding a trending audio and using it for your real sound. So what this is holiday season, and you guys know if you go to markets or you're, selling products during the holidays, that it is a wild time. So this audio, I remember seeing it when it came out, and it just made me laugh because it was such an amazing way to say, I am really busy. I don't know what's going on, but instead of just saying like, "Oh, it's wild right now," it's really using a sound to portray that story. So how you find those is when you are scrolling through reels, you can see the audio at the bottom of the reel, and then you just click on that, and it's so easy, y'all. It says use audio, or you can do the tab to say save for later. And I recommend you just whenever you're scrolling, if you hear anything you like, just save it for later because then that way you'll have it ready whenever you're ready to use that sound. So this is a whole nother feature that I found out just by looking up ideas for this class. And so what it is inspiration. And it is, you're only going to be able to see it if you have that creator or business profile. But what you do is you click on it and then you're scrolling down and you go all the way down onto the professional dashboard to inspiration. And what it does is allows you to see different reels from accounts that might be similar to yours. It also allows you to see different businesses and creators and what they're doing. So you can see, I can see Cruise Farm here. I can see the Old City Market. I can see Retro and Knoxville Art. So it's showing me these different businesses that are similar to the Maker City for ideas for what content the Maker City could be doing. So if you ever feel in a rut, y'all, don't don't get stuck in a rut because there's so many different ways to find inspiration, whether it is, just scrolling through reels or looking at this new inspiration button feature on Instagram. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly try and remove that after this. So here we go. We have local inspiration next. Local inspiration, I have Nudinox on here because they do a great job with creating really cool content. So that is an example of an engaging reel. So that got, shared a ton. It got a ton of likes, and it was a really cool way to recap a weekend in Knoxville. So another place to look for inspiration is definitely by following New to Knox on Instagram because they just do a great job of using audio that's trending and also making really cool, engaging reels. Any questions on the initial Instagram features?
Yes. I was wondering about the reels. Is there a minimum or maximum length, or how does that work?
So the minimum I would say probably is, just a couple seconds. I think, I've done one that's as short as 6 seconds, and it really did reach a lot of people. But the maximum for Reels itself is going to be 90 seconds.
Okay.
but I'm telling you guys, the short and sweet is really happening right now. It really does get shared a lot more. Okay, so the next part of this, which hopefully this part came out, and I wanted to use Canva to showcase how easy it is to use, y'all, minus that little pop-up on the side. This is a pretty much free platform, and I feel like a graphic designer when I use it. So off to hashtags. Hashtags are probably one of the oldest features on Instagram, but it still matters to use them. It still makes a difference because you can still search through them and you can still reach people, find connections, and engage with an audience that way. So of course I have to promo the hashtag Maker City because there is just a large number of posts, almost 30,000 posts for hashtag the Maker City. So if you guys live in Knoxville, I really, really encourage you guys to use that hashtag because you can scroll through it and see everyone that's posted on it. And it's just amazing. So here it is. If you're looking up hashtag Maker City, you can see everyone that has tagged recently. So all of these posts are pretty much all this week. So it is a very active hashtag. And if you ever have an idea or need an idea for a gift or for a service or inspiration, anything like that, click on hashtag Maker City and you'll be able to see that. So how cool is this? This is Southern Sprout Shop, booth 107. They're going to be at booth 107. So they use this meme to create that they're going to be at booth 107 at the farmer's market. I love that. That's so creative. So hashtags still matter. They still are a viable thing to use. And people always ask, how many should you use? And it really is up to you because I try and use probably about 5 or 6, and I only really focus on the geolocation. So that's using hashtag Knoxville, hashtag East Tennessee, hashtag Knox Rocks. That way it reaches those people. Facebook groups are a really cool way to connect directly on Facebook, and it is going to be a great way to have a target audience. So if you create books or maybe you're an author, I would encourage you to get in a bunch of different book club Facebook groups and just really promote your book that way. Event pages are still happening on Facebook, and it's still, I would recommend, the best way to get your event out because it still reaches a lot of people and it's very searchable. And it's cool because you can even see how to get tickets right away from the Facebook event. Reactions is another new feature that is on Facebook, and it is so new that I think it's just really a few weeks old, if not just like a month or two. So what you do is you're in the Meta Business Suite, which is what I personally use to schedule and to post, and you click send invites. And so what this is going to do is everyone who had liked or engaged with your post last week who don't already like your page, you can automatically add them and send out invitations. So for the Maker City, I'm about to send out 150 invitations at once, and you used to have to do this one by one. So this is a cool new feature. And each week you can come back and you can see the new reactions, and it has a new button for you to post. So with all of the creating content, there's so many things you can cover, but the key is going to be just having that goal in mind and start thinking about what you're doing day to day that can be content, whether it's in the studio or whether you want to do a how-to or a day in the life. think about what you're doing day to day that can be content. And I definitely recommend keeping a bank of content or ideas at least for slow times. That way you can still have that consistency of posting. The most important thing about using Instagram is going to be how you tell your story. So this is the account, The Mighty Wig, and another local Knoxville maker. And she does a great job of showcasing the work that she does, whether it be in theater, on the runway, fashion show, or for First Friday shows. Um, she uses photos, behind the scenes, and video to really capture her story. When you are, that we're jumping into the next thing, and when you are using Instagram and Facebook, there's been a ton of things been talking about, especially with the video creation. There are tools for all of this to help you make it more effective. In the social media toolkit, I have Meta, CapCut, Canva, Linktree, and ChatGPT. I'm adding it in. For Meta, I like to use it for notifications, planning, insights, and ads. That is just a great way to schedule posts, to view your insights, and to see how all of your content is performing. So if you're on the Meta Business Suite, which I definitely recommend everyone using, it links directly from Facebook and it goes to Instagram as well. All you have to do is hit create. And then right there, you can add your photos, add your videos, add text. And then you have the option to either publish now or schedule. So the Meta Business Suite is going to be an awesome tool for scheduling and consistency. So then what we have is, wow. You can also schedule on Instagram now. So I kind of showed you in this video how to do it, but we can go through it as well if you need more help. But scheduling on Instagram is super easy. You can schedule up to 25 posts a day. You can only schedule up to 75 days in advance. So if you're looking to schedule content for Christmas right now, you would have to do that on Meta. You wouldn't be able to do that on Instagram. But it's in your advanced settings, and you go through your professional dashboard, and it has that option right there. And you also have the option when you're making a post. So you just say schedule this post, and it allows you to select the day and the time for that. CapCut, like I said, is the app that I use for video editing. It is very easy to use. Best part, it's free. And I've been using it a lot to add the overlay of photos and videos. And they have really cool transitions. Instagram is kind of behind the game on transitions and some of the other effects that you can do and create for a video. So I use CapCut. If y'all use other video editing apps on your phone, especially, throw them in the chat because we want to hear what tools you're using. Canva, you can tell I love Canva. I use Canva for everything, including this presentation. You can create graphic posts, Instagram stories, Facebook event cover photos. You can do the whole 9 yards on Canva. You can add up to 5 links in your bio now on Instagram. And if you want to do more than that, you would use the app Linktree. It's an app, it's a website, but it's a third party. So it does link through, and then you can edit anytime you want. The very new, and I just started playing with it, is ChatGPT. Has anybody used that? If you've used it, just say it in the chat. I'd love to hear someone saying yes, 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 love it. It is an idea generator, and you can really have feedback. So if you have used it Share in the chat what you have, how you have used it, what tool, how are you using this tool? The key with ChatGPT is anything that you input to it, you have to edit it. You have to be able to read it and make it your own. So I thought it would be fun if we did just a quick little generation to see kind of what's happening on here. I actually started playing with this and I'm using the OpenAI ChatGPT. And once you sign up for free, you have the opportunity to ask questions and to see, to type about new things. So the first thing I asked was, what's a great grocery list for Indian food? I've been craving Indian food. So I asked, how can I do this for under $50 for 1 week? And so it gave me a whole list of just groceries. So that was just one way I use this tool. But you can do it for so many different things. And as in depth you get with what you're asking it and how you input your question is what it will give back to you. So if I ask social media ideas or social media captions for a local handmade ceramics for local handmade ceramics. So it just is going to pop back all of these different things. And so it kind of gives you these ideas that maybe you're stuck and haven't really thought of having to post something like this, but it really does give you just a different way to bounce around ideas. So these are captions: transform your morning routine with a sip of warmth from these hand-thrown ceramic mugs. I mean, that's a creative caption. And, maybe it doesn't fit your style or your brand, but the more that you feed into it, the more it will give back. So I did a prompt myself. I have some photos up at Tomato Head this month. And so I said, create 5 Instagram post ideas and captions for promoting my photography at the Tomato Head restaurant in Knoxville, Tennessee. But the key is, I said, before you start, ask me 3 questions so you'll be better equipped to create the caption. So adding that second line is going to have it be a little bit more detailed to what I am doing. So it asked me these questions, I gave the answers, and then look at this post it came up with. Corn emojis savor the flavors of Knoxville with our photography exhibit. Calling all Knoxville residents, food enthusiasts, and fans of Nourish Knoxville, discover the art of local photography at Tomato Head. I mean, you guys can read, it's here. This is something that I would not have necessarily thought of myself, but when it says drop by and let your taste buds and your imagination wander, I mean, that is a creative caption. That is something that I probably will definitely be using. And so it's just a new way, a new tool that is basically, I'm just encouraging you guys, if you are stuck with knowing what to post, or if you really want new ideas, use this as a tool to generate those, because you can see what it comes up with and make it your own. So yeah, love ChatGPT. I'm glad to hear that some of y'all are using it as well. Another part of social media is going to be the insights and analytics. And that is just another way to say how your posts are doing and what's going on, what's working. So I encourage everyone to have that creator account on Instagram and take a look at your professional dashboard. You can see exactly how your post is being shared, and you can go into detail and see what posts are doing the best, how many impressions you're getting, how many people are visiting your Instagram based on a post. And you can also tell what are your users' most active times. So that's a benefit, because if you've ever wondered what time should I post, that will give you that answer, because it will let you see, okay, most of my users are actually on 6 p.m. Thursday through Sunday. So then you would want to prioritize posting during that time. We're kind of closing everything out now, but this is another important aspect. So if you take anything away from this workshop, please be sure to check into your security of your Instagram. The security is going to be making sure you always have access to your email account, and then also setting up that two-step verification with your cell phone number, because then that way, anytime someone tries to log into your profile, you'll be getting a message right away. So yeah, so this is basically the end of the presentation. We have about 10 minutes for question and answer. If it goes over, you guys are welcome to stay to ask your questions. I'll be available for a little while. But this is my email. If you have any quick questions, send them my way. Or if you ever need help with your Instagram, I'm happy to do consulting as well. So yeah, so this is the social media refresher. Thank you guys so much for listening to me talk. It's funny to talk to a screen like this. But yeah,
Hey,
let's
Holly.
open it up.
Holly, there were a couple of questions around the same thing. One, how do you know if your account is a creator or business account? And if you have a business account, can you change it to creator?
So first off, yes, you can. You can change your account from business to creator. There's no cost involved. There's really no difference at all, other than some of the features being just a little bit different. And then how do you know? So what you'll do is you'll go through your settings, and it is a setting option. So what it'll do, it'll say what your account is set up as under the settings, under settings and privacy. So once you get there, you'll see the option to have it be creator. Mine, it says, well, you can't really see it, but it says for professionals. So that means I have this professional account. And it also has all the creative tools right there.
Holly, Candace says, I have a question about writing perspective. They have an ongoing debate with a coworker on whether you should write in first or third person for posts and newsletters.
So that definitely is going to depend on your brand voice. That it really just, it is up to you and how you want to run your Instagram. I think sometimes with different businesses, for instance, Big Ears, a lot of times we say Big Ears Festival, but then we throw in we or our. So we actually switch it up because it is about creating a community. And so when you say we, it is speaking to that. So I would say just kind of figure out what exactly you're trying to portray, and what you're trying to portray, and then that way you'll be able to kind of figure out, okay, what's the message here? Okay, Shannon, I see your question. Shannon says, taking all these steps but not seeing more engagement, how do we increase that? So all of these steps and also going in and engaging with your followers is going to be kind of how you get increased engagement. So what that means is if you have a consistency, if you are using a mixtures of video, photos, stories, all of these different little pieces, then you really will start seeing an increase of engagement. And that also means if someone comments on your post, commenting back. If someone sends you a DM, messaging and them back that way as well. It also means taking the time to do a little active scrolling. And so that means, when you're going through your phone, use it as your business and engage with other profiles as your business. So that would just mean, sharing some emojis or sharing some thoughts on a different post, but as your brand. And then that way it creates that engagement for people to come back to your profile. So other than that, I would definitely encourage you to tag as many people, up to 20 people in each post. And doing all of those things, I really hope you would be able to see engagement. If you're consistent, you should be seeing increase of following. And if not, then take the time to be sure you're sharing it on Facebook. Be sure to be sharing with different Facebook groups and just different ways to get your stuff out there. Um, um, John Jordan asked, do you recommend using the share to Facebook feature, cross share with Instagram? Use it. If that makes it easier for you to post on Facebook and to do both, use it. Because in all my experience of doing both Facebook and Instagram, I've never seen a lack of engagement because of that. So I would say use that. Okay, so this is another question. This is from my bestie Yaz, who's in actual New York. I love that. Okay, so how often should a business post on social media? So this is a very, very common question, and it really speaks to what your social calendar is going to look like. How much content do you have? If you only have content for 2 or 3 days a week, that is okay. But if you say, I'm going to post 3 days a week, and then you go 3 weeks without posting, and then you go back, that's where it kind of influx the algorithm and all that kind of thing. To the consistency is the most important. And then it says, should a business post stories daily to offset infrequent posts? I wouldn't necessarily use the word offset, because it really is a different type of content being put out there. So it is a great way for that quick, instant, people will see it automatically. But it is a tool or a way to use it both. So I would encourage you to use both posts and stories. And how often? It's just as often as you want. And also, do videos perform better than photos? Yes. The answer is hell yes. Okay, so then Jamie said, do you think a creator account is better? I found a loophole as a business account where I can still use all the music. If you found that, then just keep it as a business, because other than that, I don't really know the difference. What type of content should I create for a Facebook group? Great question. That's an awesome question. Candace says, I have a skincare brand, but don't want to flood them with my products. Think about your story, what you're doing. How is what you're doing and how you're selling your products? That's a part of what's going on. So, if you are showing up for local events, or you're going to different community events or things like that, that's something that you could share about in that Facebook group as well. And then also with, if it's a skincare Facebook or something like that, that's when you can get a chance to talk to people. What are they using? What problems are they seeing? Have those people talk about themselves, and then the remedy or the answer would be your products or your services.
Several people are asking about what's better, reels or stories.
They're different. They're completely different. Stories are going to be how you reach your followers. It doesn't reach people who are not following you, unless it's just maybe 1 or 2. But reels is going to be how you reach thousands of people. Thousands. Because if you use a trending audio, you use some hashtags, and it's creative, engaging content, because it's very popular right now, reels will be pushed out like wildfire. So yeah, so they're completely different. And reels is definitely a great way to use your photos, use your videos, and put it out there. I mean, I was telling someone, I went to a festival, and I didn't even take my camera. I'm a photographer. I'm a still photographer. I didn't even take my camera, because I was like, I really want to challenge myself to take video and make these reels, because it's, even as a content creator myself for the Maker City, it is hard to get into that routine of sharing videos like that because I'm so used to taking photos and sharing my photography that way. So I've been pushing myself and I have seen the results. I mean, these posts are getting 300 likes versus 30. I'm serious, y'all, 30. Yeah, that's great. I use stories to engage more personally and reels for information, process videos, and some humor. Yes, that's amazing.
Hey, Holly, it is 7 o'clock. So we're coming up to the end of our time. So if anyone, needs to hop off, please feel free. If anyone has some questions for Holly, we can hang out for a little while. I'm going to go ahead and end the recording, but we'll share the presentation, the recording, and send a survey out after this event. So expect to see that in your inbox sometime in the next couple of days. And just real quick, thank you all for making it out. And thank you, Holly, for sharing your time and all of your knowledge with us.
Okay, so there's another question about what shop to use for linking products to Instagram. If anyone has any experience, throw that in the comments in the chat, or now we can all kind of be engaging and you can